Hi, everyone. I hope you're ready for the last two chapters of our book, Thanksgiving on Thursday. So let's find out how this story ends. So we are on chapter 9 called Good Day. So it says, slowly the feast came to an end. The guests wiped their plates with their last bites of bread. Then they wiped their hands and faces with their napkins. Jack and Annie stood up. We have to go home, Annie said to Priscilla. Oh, thou must go back to thy own community now, said Priscilla. Annie nodded. Then she kissed Priscilla on the cheek. Thanks for everything, Annie said. Jack wanted to kiss Priscilla too, but he was too shy. Thanks, Priscilla, he said. I thank thee, Jack, she said. Then she leaned over and kissed his cheek. Jack felt his face grow red. Excuse me, sir, Annie said to Governor Bradford, but we must leave now. Oh, but we have not yet taught thee how to grow corn, said the little girl Mary. Squanto stood up. Come, he said. I will walk Jack and Annie back to the forest, and I will teach them. Oh, thou dost not have to do that, Jack said quickly. He feared that once they were alone, Squanto would figure out that they had actually never met before. But Squanto only smiled and waited for them to follow. Bye, everyone, said Annie, waving, and Jack waved too. All the pilgrims in the Wampanoag waved back at them. The skinny dog barked. Squanto led Jack and Annie away from the village toward the autumn woods. As they passed the cornfield, the dry stalks swayed in the breeze, and they made a shushing sound. Squanto stopped walking, and he pointed to the field. You must plant corn in the spring, he said. Put the seed in the ground when the oak tree bud is as small as a mouse's ear. Oh, wait, please, said Jack. He slipped his notebook and pencil out of his bag. It was the first time he had a chance to take notes all day, so he wrote, how to plant corn. Oak tree bud equals the size of a mouse's ear. Then he looked up at Squanto and nodded. You need to dig holes and put 2 rotting fish in each hole, said Squanto. Ooh, rotting fish, said Annie, making a face. Yes, rotting fish is good for the soil, said Squanto. On top of the fish, place 4 corn seeds, then cover them with dirt. So Jack quickly wrote, 2 rotting fish, 4 corn seeds, cover with dirt. Got it, he said, looking up. I give you these corn seeds to take home, said Squanto, and he held up a small pouch. Thanks, said Annie, taking the pouch. Thanks a lot, said Jack. Well, goodbye. Jack was eager to get going before Squanto could ask them questions about the past. Wait, I have a question, said Annie. Squanto, why did you say that you had remembered us? Squanto's dark eyes twinkled. I did not say I remembered you, he said. I only said that I remember. Well, what did you remember? Asked Annie. I remember what it was like to be from a different world, said Squanto. Long ago, I lived with my people on this shore. But one day, men came in ships, and they took me to Europe as a slave. In that new land, I was a stranger. I felt different and afraid. I saw the same fear in your eyes today, so I tried to help you. Annie smiled. We thank thee, she said. And now you must always be kind to those who feel different and afraid too, said Squanto. Remember what you felt today. And there's Squanto talking to Jack and Annie. I like that. That's good advice, to always be kind to anyone who feels different or afraid. Indeed, said Jack. Before closing his notebook, he added one last thing. Be kind to those who feel different and afraid. Squanto bowed. Good day, Jack and Annie, he said. Good day, they said. Squanto turned and headed back to the village. The sun was setting. All of Plymouth was lit with a fiery light. It was a really good day, said Annie. Yeah, it was, said Jack. Annie sighed. Are you ready to go home? She said. Indeed, said Jack. They started running through the woods, and their feet crunched through the red and yellow leaves. They scrambled up the rope ladder into the treehouse. From the distance came the sounds of the pilgrims singing a hymn and the Wampanoag beating on their drums. Annie picked up the Pennsylvania book. She pointed to a picture of the Frog Creek woods. I wish we could go home, she said. Goodbye, Priscilla, Jack called. Goodbye, Squanto, said Annie. Goodbye, everyone. Then the wind started to blow. The wind blew harder. Then the treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. And that takes us to chapter 10 called Thankful. Jack opened his eyes and he sighed. They were wearing their own clothes again. His leather bag was now back to his backpack. Sunlight slanted through the treehouse window, and as always, no time at all had passed in Frog Creek. Home, said Annie. She held up the pouch of corn seeds. Here's proof for Morgan that we did actually find the special magic. Yes, the magic of community, said Jack. Annie placed the pouch on the floor next to the scrolls from William Shakespeare and next to the twig from the gorilla in the cloud forest. Let's go, she said. Jack took the research book out of his pack, and he left it under his window. Then they climbed down the rope ladder. As they started through the woods, a warm wind blew, rattling the leaves. Jack felt happy. He was looking forward to visiting their grandmother today and seeing their cousins and aunts and uncles. You know, Pilgrim kids really had a hard life, said Annie. Yeah, they did as much work as the grown-ups did, maybe even more, said Jack. Worst of all, lots of their friends and family members died, said Annie. Yeah, said Jack, and both were silent for a moment. If they could be so thankful, said Annie, then we should really be thankful too. No kidding, said Jack. We should be really, really, really thankful. And they both were. And here's a picture of the pouch that Squanto gave them with the corn seeds. Oh, and that was the end of the book. All right, so our next book, I forgot to pull it out. But I do have it in the closet, whatever number 28 is. So it'll actually be a surprise for tomorrow because I have it in my bag in my closet. So tomorrow we will start a new book and it'll be a surprise to see what it is. So I hope you liked the end of this book and I'll start a new book tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.